Welcome to Yoga Explained, a series for helping you learn how to do yoga from the beginning, because when you learn how to do the poses well, it's going to keep you safer in the poses and you're going to get so much more out of your yoga practice. Now there's a link for the playlist to all of these videos down below, and you can also hop on the email list for this series because I have lots more resources, tips, tricks, etc. for you in those emails. My name is Laura. I have been a yoga educator for almost 35 years, and one of my most favorite things to do is to introduce people to this amazing art, because yoga can change everything. In today's practice, we are going to talk about backbends. Now, the energy of backbends is to give you energy, okay? When you open up across your heart, you activate your adrenals back here. You're going to get some, which are your glands that release stress hormones. So it's going to give you energy. It's going to give you activation. And it's really lovely because it counters the forward slump that we have in our body. Backbends are also really good for a lot of lower back issues. I will get to that in a little bit, but it helps you get into the upper back rather than moving through the lower back. So we're just going to take a few steps into backbends today. So for today's practice, you're going to need a firm cushion to sit on, and that's it. So if you're ready, let's get into our practice. We're going to start today in cross-legged, so in Sukhasana, having a seat up on your cushion, and you're going to have your feet beneath the opposite knees. Now we're starting here because I want to help loosen up that upper back a little bit. Like I mentioned earlier, backbends are about getting into the upper back. And we want to loosen that up so we can get a little movement up there, okay? So you want to get up on top of the sit bones, get long through the body, feel your Sukhasana, and then shoulder rolls forward, arching and rounding through the spine at the same time. So we're getting into the shoulder blades, we're getting into the spine. Change direction. Keep breathing. And one more. Squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you as you lift up. And then release and take a breath. Change the cross of the legs. And we'll do Garudasana from our last video. So find that spot on your sit bones, getting long through the body. Bring the arms up and overhead. I want you to lift up, little baby back bend. You're lifting up the heart, getting it into the upper back. Start feeling that movement. And then release the right arm underneath the left. Wrap, shoulders down, elbows up, chin to the chest, getting into the upper back. And then release, take the arms out, bring them up, and over to the other side. Left arm comes under the right. And remember, you can modify this any way. If you can only get to here or here, any of these positions work. You just think of drawing the shoulders down as you lift the elbows up, chin to the chest. And release, bring the arms out, take them up. Bring the palms together down the front of the body. And then release, take a breath, and just feel. Feel the back, feel the shoulders. Move up onto all fours, moving into table. So in table, you want to make sure that you are pressing through the palms of the hands. If you relax, go ahead and relax your hands. You're going to sink into your wrists. We all tend to buckle the hands here a little bit to release when we relax. And we want to press down through the base of the index finger. Do you feel how that spreads the weight out throughout the palms? And that protects the wrists, okay? So from here, we're going to arch and round the spine. Draw your belly button in, round your lower back. And then release. So we're just moving from the lower back. Really suck the belly button in hard. Really, really tuck. And release, getting some movement into that lower back. One more. Round and release. Go ahead and make it bigger. So you're going to draw the belly button in and then add on, round all the way up the back, push through your hands, push through the shoulder blades, tuck your chin into your chest, and then release. And then again, round all the way up, push through the hands, and release. And take a breath. Now walk the hands out, still pressing through the palms. Take your hips up and come down, bringing your forehead down toward the floor. This is called an extended child's. It's this really nice stretch to the shoulders, and it's taking the wall push a little bit further. And if you can get your head all the way down, go ahead. Keep breathing. And then come on up. Step your right foot up between your hands. We're moving into a lunge. Now, people often want to stop here. I want you to get your foot all the way up so your fingers and toes are in one straight line. So whatever it takes, you can use your hand to scooch it. You can walk it up with your toes. Fingers and toes in one straight line, and then release forward. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but you can get there. Lift up through the front of the body and breathe. Feel the stretch in the front of the hip. Lift the back knee up. Drop the knee, step your front foot back, move back into extended child's, press those hips, press the palms down, hips go up, forehead comes down toward the floor. And then come back up and take your left foot up between the hands, and again, whatever it takes. Now let's talk about some modifications here. So if you have a large belly, short arms, long legs, might find it easier to put both hands to the inside of the foot. Sometimes it just feels better, even if you don't need to modify it, it just feels better. You can also use a block and put a block up underneath your hands, which gives you even more space. It's okay to modify. Find what feels comfortable for you. Breathe. And then lift your back knee up. Back leg is really straight. Get those hips as low as you can. And then drop the knee. Step your foot back. Come back into extended child's. Take a breath. And then come on up. Lowering down to the floor, we're going to do a pose that's called grasshopper. Now, grasshopper is shifting forward, sending your elbows straight back, not out to the side, but straight back, and dropping your chest between your thumbs. This takes tricep strength, and it can be tricky. Just do the best you can. Come down as slowly and in control as you can. And then release. So we're going to do 3 different back bends in this position. And like I mentioned before, the key here is to start getting movement into the upper back, feeling that upper back, and not moving just from the lower back, which is what we usually do. So the first thing we need to do is get the legs in position. Extend the legs back behind you, and you want to get right into the middle of the knee and the middle of the foot. If you relax the legs, and go ahead and just relax them, you'll feel probably your heels will drop out and you'll move to the outer edge of your knees. So you want to extend the legs to get right into the middle of the knee and the middle of the top of the foot. And you're reaching through the legs like you're trying to push a button with your toes. Then gently press the tops of the feet down and feel an engagement at the base of your buttocks. That engagement helps put the pelvis in a good position to protect your lower back. Rule of thumb with all back bends: if you feel discomfort in your lower back, stop, back off. We have to retrain the body to move more from the upper back than from the lower back, and that can take time. So if you start to feel pain or discomfort, pinching, however it is it feels to you, back off, make it smaller, okay? So first one we're going to do is Sphinx. Bring your arms up and overhead. Your hands are shoulder width apart. You're still pressing the tops of the feet down. You're in the middle of the knees, the middle of the feet. This is a great pose to really help you feel that little bit of upper back action. Slide your elbows halfway back. So all the way back would be elbows underneath your shoulders. We'll get there in a moment, but for now, halfway back. And then roll your shoulder blades back and down as you lift your heart. And this really helps you feel that action in the upper back. I want you to feel those shoulder blades working. And breathe. This one feels really good if you spent a day hunched over your computer. And then bring the elbows all the way back so they are underneath your shoulders. And again, you're going to roll the shoulder blades back and down as you lift the heart up. Feel the action in the upper back. Just so you know, this one tends to be less intense than the variation we just did. So if you feel like, I don't feel it as much, that's normal. You still want to feel those shoulder blades move down and into your back. That's what we're learning here. All right, come all the way down. Place your hands on top of each other. Put your forehead on your hands to rest and let your heels drop out to the side. Just rock your hips back and forth. Check in with your back. All right. Next one is Shalambasan, which is locust pose. Come back to the middle of your knees, middle of your feet. Press the tops of the feet down. Bring your hands back by your hips. We're going to work on strengthening our back muscles now. Roll the shoulder blades back and down and lift your arms. Feel them lift from the shoulder blades. So you're not just lifting the arms. Okay, you're rolling the shoulder blades back and down. You're lifting the arms, feeling the shoulder blades draw toward each other. And then lift the legs up and lift the torso up. The back usually feels good here, but if you feel a strain in your lower back, try just lowering your feet. And if you still do, lower your torso. Then bring everything down. We're going to do 2 more. Press the tops of the feet down. Find that action. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Lift the arms from the shoulder blades. And then lift the legs. And then lift the torso. Really lift. Lift everything as high as you can. We are strengthening very important muscles in the back body. And then release. These are muscles that get weak from poor posture. And these muscles help protect our spine, especially our discs. So it helps keep them in place in the spine. All right, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Last one, lift your arms, lift your legs, lift your torso, and then lift all 3 one more time. And release. Bring your hands up underneath your forehead again. Let your heels drop out to the side. Rock your hips back and forth. Feel your breath. We're going to do one more. Cobra or Bhujangasana. Bring your feet back to the middle. You're in the middle of the knees, middle of the feet. Press the tops of the feet down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulder blades back and down and squeeze your elbows in. So as you squeeze your elbows in, feel your shoulder blades draw toward each other. You are activating that spot in the upper back. Again, we're retraining the body to move more from the upper back, waking it up, if you will. All you're going to do is use your back muscles here, so I want you to squeeze those elbows in and just lift your torso up a little bit. well, as far as you can go, as long as it's comfortable for the lower back, and then come back down. You're still pressing the tops of the feet down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, come on down. Okay, we're gonna add on. Inhale, come on up. Press into the hands and come up further. Just listen to your lower back. Press into those hands. Come on down. And we'll do it one more time. Inhale, come on up. Press into the hands. If you happen to be really flexible, you want to make sure your pubic bone stays down so you're not lifting that pubic bone off the floor. That's a different pose. And then come on down. And go ahead and rest one more time. Rocking out those hips again, feeling your breath. Bring your hands up underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Press up through table and into extended child's. Press the palms, reach your hips up, forehead down. Give your back a nice long stretch after those back bends. And then release into full child's pose. So walk your hands back. You can have your knees together and try it. That's actually the way it's usually done. But if you need to separate your knees to be able to be comfortable, sometimes we need room for the belly, right? Then go ahead and do that. Then round your spine all the way up, really tuck it up, really tight, and come down. Hands back by the feet, release the head. Now, child's pose is meant to be a really comfortable position for the human body. It's fetal position, so it's supposed to feel really safe and secure on a primal level. But you do have to be flexible in your knees, in your hips, in your ankles, in order to do this comfortably. So if you can't get your hips down, you feel like you're hanging from your knees, you can grab your blanket and place it behind, under your hips, behind your knees. If you feel like you can only get this far, you can put your blanket underneath your head or your block. And if you're still not comfortable, come down onto your back and bring your knees up. This is just child's pose on your back. We're just using gravity differently. All right, come on up now and just have a seat. And take a moment to feel your body. Can you feel that little bit of stimulation? And all we did were small back bends, right? Those were just, let's start to wake up the spine a little bit. If you feel lower back tension, don't give up on back bends. It just means make them a little smaller next time. Think of this as information for yourself. You know, if we were in class together, then I would say, okay, next time, and hopefully I'd remember to remind you, make it a little smaller, okay? Explore your back, maybe do fewer. We're waking up the back in a new way. Back pain does not mean it's wrong, right? You're getting information. You just want to make it smaller, a little gentler, and go from there. But feel that energy. When you do a back bend really well, shoulders down into the upper back, you're going to start opening your heart. You're going to start giving yourself this really lovely energy. It's so beautiful. We're going to end class here so you can enjoy this energy. Go get something done. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next class.